Students, today I will continue with the same chapter, biomolecule. This is video 2 and I will proceed with disaccharides. And in the previous video, video 1, we have studied monosaccharides. And monosaccharide, disaccharides are under carbohydrate. So overall, I would like to again say that we are doing carbohydrates, and under carbohydrates we have studied monosaccharides, and today I will proceed in teaching you disaccharides. So, now children, as the name says, when two monosaccharides join together to form a disaccharide, there is a linkage between two monosaccharide units, that is a glycosidic linkage. And with the help of that glycosidic linkage, the monosaccharides join and a disaccharide is formed. Now, before I move on to the explanation of disaccharide, I would like to tell you about the glycosidic linkage. Now, children, glycosidic linkage is not in the syllabus. But without the concept of glycosidic linkage, you won't be able to understand the entire chapter. So, glycosidic linkage. Let us say, when OH group of one carbohydrate, that is monosaccharide unit, and OH group of the another carbohydrate, let us say again monosaccharide, when they come together, water will be removed or eliminated. So, a glycosidic linkage is formed. As you can see in the diagram, you can see a glycosidic linkage in one of the diagram where two glucose molecules are joined together. So, this is one sugar and this is another sugar, and they are joining. In between there is a O. Why? Because water has been removed and only O is remained. So, this linkage is known as glycosidic linkage. So, I hope now you have understood the glycosidic linkage. Now, let's start with few examples, beginning with the sucrose. Now, sucrose on hydrolysis basically gives glucose. One can say D-glucose. D is dextrorotatory. Okay, now this dextrorotatory and on the contrast levorotatory you will be understanding in the chemistry, because this is the chemistry part. I would like to teach here only the bio part. So, sucrose on the hydrolysis will give glucose plus a fructose molecule. And sucrose is also known as an invert sugar. Now, glucose and fructose, which make up the structure of sucrose, are reducing sugar. But sucrose itself is not a reducing sugar. What is reducing sugar? Reducing sugar is that they cannot, one which is not a reducing sugar cannot reduce Tollens reagent or Fehling solution. Reducing agent will give test with the Tollens reagent also and the Fehling solution also. So, sucrose itself is not a reducing sugar. Its melting point is 160 degrees centigrade. It is soluble in water and it is a dextrorotatory in nature. Now, next, before I proceed to maltose, I would like to explain the structure of sucrose here. Now, children, you can see a glucose molecule when joins with the fructose molecule, because sucrose is made up of two molecules of monosaccharides, as I am explaining you disaccharides. So, sucrose is a disaccharide. Di means two sugar molecules. So, one is glucose molecule and the other is fructose molecule. Then they both are joining with a glycosidic linkage. As you can see in the diagram, a sucrose sugar is constructed or is formed. Maltose. Now, children, maltose is also a disaccharide which occurs in plants as a degradation product of polysaccharide. Now, children, before I tell you how maltose is a degradation product of polysaccharide, I would like to tell you that polysaccharides actually is made up of more than 10 sugar unit. More than 10 sugars means when we are going to see the structures, there will be monomers. There will be monosaccharides like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on till 10, joining with the glycosidic linkage, and the whole 1 to 10 units will form a polysaccharide chain. So, when a polysaccharide is hydrolyzed, they break up into 5 to 8 sugar units which are known as oligosaccharides. And when oligosaccharides break down, they form disaccharides. Therefore, maltose, sucrose, lactose, are degraded product of polysaccharides. Now, maltose is composed of 2 units of D-glucose. Again, children, D stand for dextrorotatory. Okay, and this dextrorotatory word you'll be studying in chemistry, and if you don't get through there, just I'll explain it then again. So, dextroglucose or D-glucose join together through their carbon 1 and carbon 4, means D-glucose, 2 molecules of glucose in the maltose, one will join at the carbon 1 with the other at the carbon 4. You can see it in the structure. I'll show you. You can see the structure of maltose. See, there are 2 glucose molecules. Can you see number 1? This is 1 carbon. And can you see number 4? This is 4th carbon. Okay, children. So, 4th carbon and the 1st carbon is joined with a glycosidic linkage. Is it clear to you? So, this is basically the structure of maltose. Now, it is a crystalline needle-like structure. Its melting point is 135 degrees centigrade and is soluble in water. It can be hydrolyzed by enzyme maltase to glucose. Okay, whatever we eat, children, then enzyme maltase acts on maltose and maltose breaks down into D-glucose, that is 2 units of D-glucose. Now, children, one point to understand, that when monosaccharides are eaten, they taste sweet immediately as they are made up of single sugar unit. As I've already explained in video 1, that monosaccharides on hydrolysis will never give anything. Nothing more simple than them. But when any disaccharide, oligosaccharide or polysaccharide, when they are hydrolyzed, they are broken into simple monosaccharides. That's why whatever we are eating, whatever high complex sugar we are eating, they are slowly changing into monosaccharides. Okay. So, but in disaccharide or in polysaccharide, enzymes are needed to break down as they are complex sugar units. Therefore, for polysaccharides or disaccharides to taste sweet, one has to degrade them, whether in the presence of enzyme or whether in the presence of HCl acid. Now, lactose. Lactose is basically present in the milk. That's why it is known as milk sugar. Now, it is a reducing sugar. Reducing sugar means it gives a test with tolerance solution, tolerance reagent, Fehling solution, and they are solely of animal origin. Now, what does this mean, animal origin? Means it is produced and secreted from the mammary glands of animals. It is composed of glucose and galactose. Again, glucose, monosaccharide, galactose, again monosaccharide. Again, when they are joined together at carbon 1 of galactose, joined with the carbon 4 of glucose, means galactose molecule, its carbon number 1 is going to join with the carbon number 4 of the glucose molecule with glycosidic linkage. And when they join together, a lactose molecule is formed. It is less soluble in water and can be hydrolyzed by HCl or enzyme lactase. Just see the diagram. Now again see, one molecule of lactose and one molecule of glucose and other molecule of galactose, and they are joined by the glycosidic linkage and they form as lactose. Now children, there were all disaccharides like lactose, sucrose, maltose, they were all disaccharides. Now I am going to move towards the polysaccharides, more complex carbohydrates. So from the beginning I'll tell you that we are studying carbohydrates. We've studied monosaccharides. They were simple sugars. On hydrolysis, nothing will get from them. Then move to disaccharides. Disaccharides are the basically degraded product of oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. On hydrolysis, they will give the simple sugars. Now let us move to polysaccharides. Now polysaccharides are high molecular weight protein, molecular weight polymers. Means these sugars are made up of larger molecules consisting of monosaccharides. Means 1 monosaccharide, 2 monosaccharide, 3 monosaccharide till 10. Number 10 are going to give a chain of polysaccharides. And in every polysaccharide chain, there will be a glucose. Why? Because glucose is a simple monosaccharide. I hope this is clear to you. Now there are types of polysaccharides, homopolysaccharides. In the polysaccharide chain, when the constituents of monosaccharides are similar, then the polysaccharide chain is known as homopolysaccharides. And when the monosaccharide chains are different, then it is known as heteropolysaccharides. Now examples of homopolysaccharides are starch, cellulose and glucose. Glycogen. Whereas heteropolysaccharides are chitin and insulin. Now some common polysaccharides. Starch. Now starch is a polymer of glucose. As you all have studied in class 10th, polymerization of glucose forms starch. Now starch have two components. One is amylose and the other is amylopectin. Now children, before explaining the starch concept, I would like to tell you amylose and amylopectin. Now first, let me explain you about amylose. Amylose is a crystalline form of starch consisting of long unbranched polysaccharide chain. Now if starch has amylose component, it means it has a long unbranched repeating monosaccharide units, which forms polysaccharides. Now the second part of this component of starch, many glucose molecules are joined by glycosidic linkages at carbon 1 and at carbon 4. It forms 15 to 20% of starch. Now amylopectin component, these are branched molecules with many glucose molecules linked at carbon 1 and carbon 4 of monosaccharides. Children, don't get confused in carbon 1 and carbon 4. Just remember and just imagine that a sugar molecule which is having carbon at one position, number 1, is joining with the other sugar whose carbon 4, that is number 4, is attaching to the carbon 1. Then they are forming a unit. So similarly, they are going to form a long chain of sugar molecules. And just in amylopectin, in addition to one sugar is attached to the carbon 6. So it make the rest of 80 to 85% of starch. Means amylose is a starch which is having a amylose component is somewhat a simpler chain. But in the amylopectin component, it has a complex chain. Why complex? Because in this, carbon 1 is also engaged with carbon number 4. And in addition to that, sugar molecule is attached to the carbon number 6. Now, because of more complexity, amylopectin is insoluble in water than amylose. The blue-black color of starch on iodine is due to amylose, and a red color of starch on iodine solution is due to amylopectin. Starch is basically present in rice, wheat, legumes, potatoes and banana. Now let's come to glycogen. Now children, before I proceed to glycogen, I would like to tell you that we don't have to learn the structures of polysaccharides because they are more complex. Glycogen, reserve food material in animal body. Glycogen is reserve food material in the animal body. It is a polysaccharide or a carbohydrate. One can say anything. It is a source of glucose for respiration. Its structure is similar to amylopectin but shows more branching. It is soluble in water and forms red color with the iodine. Next is cellulose. Cellulose is a straight chain polymeric molecule. What do you mean by polymeric molecule? Again, polymeric means that long sugar units are present. More than 10 sugar units can be present linked with the glycosidic linkage. So again, cellulose is a long chain. It's a unbranched chain of sugars of high molecular weight, which is composed of basically glucose. Now, it is an important structural and fundamental component of the cell wall. As such, is most abundant in the natural product in the world. Cellulose is insoluble in water. Why it is insoluble in water? Why? Because it is a complex molecule, complex polysaccharide. Okay. Now, mucopolysaccharides. Mucopolysaccharides, they are the larger group of polysaccharides. And they are not only the mixture of simple sugars, but are derivative of the complex sugars also. Now, we don't have to go in the detail of mucopolysaccharides, but just you have to learn that they are insoluble in water. They are found in the cell walls of bacteria, connective tissues. Chitin. Chitin is closely related to cellulose in structure and function. Being a structural polysaccharide means chitin is the outer layer of some animals. It is present in the fungi. So, it is forming the outer structural unit of the organisms. It is found in fungal cell wall, and it is present in the exoskeleton of insects and shells of crustaceans. On hydrolysis with dilute acids, they are going to yield acetic acid and glucosamine. You just have to only learn these words. Insulin. Insulin is a polymer of fructose, means many fructose units, when they are going to join with the glycosidic linkage, insulin will be formed. It is produced primarily by tubers of the plant, means like potato, like tapioca, they are the tubers. So, it is readily soluble in warm water. So, insulin again is a polymer of fructose. So, children, I hope disaccharides and polysaccharide is clear to you. So, it's a request that you just go through the both the videos for the better understanding, and if any doubt comes, I'm going to take it in the Zoom class.